I grip the steering wheel tighter as the wrought iron gates of my parents' estate in Boston, Massachusetts swing open. The long driveway, lined with maples shedding their amber leaves, stretches ahead like a path I've walked 1,000 times, yet never truly entered. The crunch of leaves beneath my tires feels almost cruel, a cheerful sound clashing with the hollow pit in my chest. I'm dressed deliberately in a soft grey pencil skirt and a muted burgundy blouse. Understated, polished, perfect for blending in. My parents love it when I disappear into the background. Before I can even grab my purse from the passenger seat, Claire's sleek silver BMW glides up behind me. Claire, my younger sister, always impeccably timed, always effortlessly luminous steps, out in a shimmering champagne-colored dress that catches the late afternoon sun just right. I watch her in the rearview mirror as if seeing her through someone else's life. She doesn't wait for an invitation. She owns the room before even stepping inside. The front doors of the mansion swing wide. My father, tall and exacting in his tailored navy suit, stands at the threshold. My mother, radiant in her pale peached silk beams, but all that light is reserved for Claire. There's our shining star, my mother calls, arms outstretched. My father wraps Claire in a bear hug, lifting her slightly off the ground. The guest of honor arrives. I step out of my car, smoothing the skirt that feels like armor. My mother glances over Claire's shoulder. Her smile dims just enough for only me to notice. "Veronica, you made it," she says. The words hang in the air, not warm, not welcoming. My father pats my shoulder briefly, then turns back to Claire. "Sweetheart, wait until you see the decor. This year, we've outdone ourselves." Inside, the grand foyer glimmers. Crystal chandeliers reflect soft light across the marble floors. Oversized vases overflow with white roses and lilies, their fragrance almost too strong. A string quartet plays near the staircase, soft and elegant. Everything perfect. Everything expensive. Everything meant to impress but not me. I move toward the seating chart at the entrance to the dining room, a framed display on an antique stand. My finger traces the elegant calligraphy. Table 16, far corner, near the kitchen doors. 6 tables away from my parents, 6 tables away from Claire. I swallow the ache that's become routine. "The Hendersons will be at your table," my mother suddenly says beside me. "They're always looking for tech consultants." Her tone is brisk, almost distracted, thoughtful, perhaps, but the gesture feels like a knife wrapped in tissue. I nod, swallowing again. How kind. To think of my networking opportunities while ignoring my presence as a daughter. I drift toward the bar, listening to the muted conversation between my mother and the event planner. About the photographs, the planner says, pen poised over her clipboard. "We scheduled the photographer for 7:30. Does that work for the family portraits?" My mother's voice lowers. "That's fine, but make sure we get one with just the 3 of us, Robert, myself, and Claire. That's the one we'll want enlarged for the living room." My hand freezes around the champagne flute a server just handed me, the 3 of them. Not 4, never 4. The waiter, a young man with soft eyes, notices my expression and gives a small, sympathetic nod before moving away. I retreat to a window alcove, letting the memories wash over me like a cold. Tide Thanksgiving, age 8. Seated at the kids' table while Claire, 5, sat between my parents, beaming. Christmas mornings, when Claire's pile of gifts towered over mine. High school debate championship parents arrived late after Claire's recital, barely glancing at my trophy. The pattern was clear early. I was the afterthought. Claire, the center of the universe, by 16. I found escape in dogged business books from the public library. While Claire collected ribbons for hobbies she abandoned in weeks, I drafted business plans at the kitchen table. A student concierge service. My father laughed, barely looking at the proposal. Focus on your studies, he said. Leave the business ideas to professionals. That same month, Claire's watercolor of the house, crooked windows and all, was professionally framed and hung in the front hallway. My regional Young Entrepreneur Award. Left to gather dust in my closet. The doorbell chimes again. Guests arrive, flowing naturally toward Claire's laughter. I move toward the edges, helping Aunt Laura find her seat, showing Uncle Thomas where the restrooms are. Veronica, my father calls as he passes, not quite looking at me. Check the champagne for the toast VVE, not the mute. I straighten, of course. Never celebrated, never truly seen. 15 minutes later, the guests settle, silverware. Clinks quiet. My father rises at the head of the table. Silver hair glints under the chandelier. The custom tuxedo hugs his frame. He raises a glass, eyes sweeping the room, landing on Claire. 35 years, he begins, voice firm, building a home, a family, a legacy. And nothing represents that better than our beautiful daughters, especially Claire, who brings sunshine wherever she goes. I force the practiced smile I've spent decades perfecting. No mention of me, not one. The story flows through Claire's accomplishments. 5-year-old singing at the 20th anniversary. Her college graduation, her volunteer work. 10 minutes pass, my name remains unsaid. To Eleanor, my rock, my heart. And to Claire, the greatest gift our marriage has produced. My hands clap silently, joining the applause. Cousin Henry catches my eye, shakes his head slightly. Aunt Barbara and Uncle Philip look elsewhere, complicit in the quiet acknowledgement of my invisibility. I exhale slowly, keeping my face neutral. CEO face. James calls it the mask of composure when millions hang in the balance. Tonight, it hides something far more precious. Myself-respect. Now, the special presentation. Mother produces a red leather box from under the table. Distinctive Cartier packaging gleams. For the true fruit of our 35 years together, my father proclaims. Claire opens it with trembling fingers. A diamond-encrusted watch rests on white satin. Gasps echo. My parents embrace her, forming the perfect image of family devotion, while I remain at the edge, century away, unnoticed. No second gift, no acknowledgement of me. When the applause fades, I slip toward the terrace. Aunt Margaret intercepts me, arthritic fingers curling around my wrist. Join me for some air, dear. Not a question. Outside, the cool autumn air clears the scent of lilies from my lungs. Margaret settles on a stone bench. Did you know? She begins, without preamble. This is the third luxury gift they've given her this year. Spa weekend in February, summer in France, and now this. All Robert's doing. Cold certainty settles in my stomach. The puzzle pieces shift. That explains why my Series C funding announcement never appeared in the family newsletter. The same month, Claire's small artisan soap business made headlines. Mine, buried under Eliza's hobbies and minor achievements. My phone buzzes. James, how's the royal coronation? Escape plan ready. I smile, genuine this time, and text back. Standing by. May need extraction before dessert. Uncle Thomas appears with a crystal tumbler. Impressive watch, he murmurs. Almost as impressive as last month's tech prize. I correct gently. Innovation Leadership Award. He nods, understanding. A small acknowledgement in a world of orchestrated slights. Sarah, my childhood friend, arrives. Her familiar presence feels like home amidst strangers polished to perfection. I saw the whole thing, she whispers. Want to sneak out the back like junior prom? Before I can answer, my phone rings. My assistant's special tone. Business intrudes. I answer. Veronica White, Singapore client. Urgent. I give her 10 minutes. Party or work? Tonight I choose work, the photographer calls. family photos, all in place. I stand at the far edge. Mother adjusts Claire's hair. Father straightens his tie. Flash, click, done. Just the three of them for the special portrait. I remain frozen. A permanent record of my place in the white family hierarchy, nowhere. I slip away from the party just as my parents pull Claire to the center for the champagne toast. Their laughter rings hollow now, a sound that used to echo in my chest like it belonged to me. I move quietly through the hallway, toward my father's home office. My footsteps sound too loud against the polished wood, but I barely notice. The world outside this room, the world where I'm invisible, no longer defines me. I log into my email and call back my assistant. 10 minutes later, the Singapore client's issue is resolved. Charts double-checked, proposals finalized, everything sent with precision. For a brief moment, I allow myself a pause. My childhood bedroom awaits. Just a few minutes, that's all I need to breathe. But when I push the door open, my throat catches. The room is no longer mine. Claire's pageant crowns glitter on my once-beloved bookshelf. Her sorority composites cover the walls where my honor roll certificates once hung. Lavender paint, her favorite shade, replaces my soft green. Not a trace of me remains visible, as if the room itself wants to erase my memory. I whisper into the empty space. My fingers trace the outline of my old desk, now a vanity crowded with her makeup. Shelves overflow with trophies for activities she abandoned in weeks. My stuffed animals, my childhood companions sit on the window seat, now taken by hers. The closet, my last refuge, holds a single cardboard box labeled Veronica Mendez. Inside lie my college diplomas beneath the Young Entrepreneur Award. My graduation tassel tangled around photos of my achievements, everything I worked for, stored like holiday ornaments, unseen and unvalued. I sit on the lavender-covered bed, heart heavy. Something hard under the pillow catches my fingers. Curious, I pull out an old book, my grandmother's copy of Jane Eyre, her elegant handwriting inscribed inside, to my Veronica, a girl who will forge her own path with love, Grandma Margaret. I remember her pulling me aside at family gatherings, quietly slipping me books, while Claire unwrapped mountain after mountain of gifts. Books build inner worlds, she whispered, where no one can tell you who to be. As I turn the pages, an envelope falls out, yellowed with age, sealed with wax, bearing my grandmother's initial. The laughter from the party drifts faintly upstairs as I break the seal. The letter is dated 3 weeks before her death, almost 5 years ago. My dearest Veronica, it begins. If you are reading this, I knew this day would come. The weight of invisibility can be unbearable. I recognized the pattern. Earlier family has a way of celebrating the visible, ignoring the quiet, the diligent, the determined. But you, my darling, are the protagonist of your own life. My eyes blur. She continues, explaining that she arranged an account in my name, containing both funds and her personal journals. The code, the date we visited the Metropolitan Museum, together. Just the two of us, she writes. This inheritance is more than money. It is legacy, encouragement, proof that someone believed in me. Sometimes family, she says, is not those who share your name, but those who truly see you. Tears fall freely. She understood. Even then, she saw what was happening and prepared a lifeline. My grandmother, the only person in this house who ever really noticed me. I reach for my phone, craving connection. Messages from James, Michelle, and David await. My business family. James, how's the circus? Reservation. Ready if you need extraction. Michelle, acquisition meeting perfect. Board unanimous. You're a genius, V. David. We're all here for you. I type quickly. Grandma left me a letter, an inheritance. Time to stop waiting for a place at their table. The responses arrive almost instantly. James, about time. We've been saving you. A chair at ours for years. Michelle, whatever you decide, we've got you. David, your grandma sounds like the only smart Mendez besides you. I remember all the times they supported me. When clients assumed James was the CEO. When I started the company with nothing but determination. When they celebrated milestones with genuine joy. How different from my parents' hollow congratulations, always followed by, "But Claire." My jaw tightens. I slide the letter back into my purse and approach a high school graduation photo on the wall, where I am once again pushed to the edge of the frame. I remove it from the frame, cutting myself free from the border, placing the small photo in. My wallet's dot in my mother's dressing room. I notice my grandmother's pearl brooch pinned to a scarf. Long borrowed, never returned. I unpin it carefully, feeling its weight in my palm, and secure it to my blouse. My fingers brush the polished wood of my father's desk. Mr. Abernathy, my parents' financial advisor, stands nearby, sipping champagne. I approach him confidently. "Mr. Abernathy," I say, offering my card. "I believe we have some business to discuss." He reads the embossed letters. Veronica Mendez, CEO, Mendez Innovations. His eyes widen slightly. "I've been following your company's growth," he admits. "Very impressive. Your grandmother would be proud." "Yes," I say softly. "I believe she would." The party swirls around me, oblivious to the quiet transformation happening in one corner. Guests don't notice as I hand my ticket to the valet, as my car pulls away. My phone buzzes with frantic texts from Claire. "Where are you? They're cutting the cake." I don't reply. Instead, I touch my grandmother's brooch, grounding myself. The road ahead is mine, clear and open. For the first time in 32 years, I'm not driving toward approval. I'm moving away from dismissal. The empty chair I leave behind can remain empty. I have a new seat waiting, at a table where people make room in their hearts. The crisp autumn air fills my lungs as I pull up to Le Petit Jardin, a cozy French-inspired restaurant in downtown Boston. Warm light spills onto the sidewalk, a beacon after the shadow of my parents' estate. My hands finally stop trembling on the wheel. 40 minutes of blurred vision and emotional turmoil, dangerous but necessary. Inside, my chosen family is already gathered. James, Caitlin, and Robert, my business partners, my people. Champagne poured, genuine smiles awaiting me. The motto. Dee spots me immediately. "Miss Mendez, we've been expecting you. Shall I take your coat?" The restaurant hums with the soft clink of silverware and quiet conversation. The smells of garlic, butter, and fresh bread replace the overpowering scent of lilies and perfume. James notices me first. "There she is," he says, and I slide into the seat reserved for me. Not at a corner, not 6 tables away. Here I am seen. Caitlyn reaches for my hand. "We were betting on whether you'd make it before dessert." James raises his flute. "To the woman who built something real. While others were planning parties, you were planning the future." For the first time all evening, my smile feels authentic, as though I've been breathing in sunlight after years in shade. My phone buzzes again. 3 texts from Claire. Increasingly frantic. "Mom is furious. You can't leave. Where are you?" I ignore them. I touch the brooch on my blouse. This evening belongs to those who see my worth without needing public recognition. Industry contacts, former clients, college professors all reach out to celebrate the news that broke overnight. Mendez Innovations acquired by Stellar Tech for an estimated $75 million. The restaurant becomes an impromptu celebration. People arrive, colleagues, friends, those who value skill and determination over family titles. Caitlin hands me a small, carefully wrapped package. Inside, a framed photo I've never seen. My grandmother at my age, sitting at her desk, eyes gleaming with determination. She wanted you to have it tonight, Caitlin whispers. My fingers trace the silver frame, absorbing the strength in her gaze. The room hums around me, warmth, laughter, and connection. Later, back at my apartment, I sit before my laptop. I draft an email to my parents.com, deliberate, boundaries set. No mention of the acquisition or details that could let them make it about themselves. Clear, firm. I will no longer attend events where I am treated as an afterthought rather than a daughter. I write. My finger hovers over send. Not yet. Tonight belongs to those who see me. For the first time in decades, the weight lifts from my shoulders. Around me, faces shine with genuine affection. No subtle jockeying, no conditional love. Tomorrow will bring complications, yes, but tonight, I am exactly where I belong. The next day, I deliberately choose the Meridian, a sleek restaurant perched on the 40th floor of Boston's newest skyscraper, for the meeting with my parents. Floor 2 ceiling windows frame the city skyline, a river of buildings stretching toward the horizon. This is my territory, not theirs. Power in glass and steel, not inherited expectations. Melissa, my executive assistant, arrives precisely 5 minutes before 2. I'll signal when 30 minutes have passed, she whispers, laying out neatly arranged files. I smooth the burgundy silk blouse I've chosen for today. Armor, not appeasement. 7 minutes later, my parents walk in. Mother's pearl necklace gleams against her cashmere sweater. Father's custom suit probably costs more than most people's monthly rent. Their eyes flick to Melissa, clearly thrown by her presence. I wasn't aware this was a business meeting, my father says, glancing pointedly at the portfolio. Just some documents I might need, I answer evenly. Melissa slides the folder closer, her presence unspoken but undeniable. Before they can object further, the hostess guides Claire toward our table. My stomach tightens. Of course they brought reinforcements. Claire, the golden child, sliding into her seat beside my mother. Her eyes dart nervously between us, anxious yet rehearsed. Traffic was terrible, Claire begins breathlessly. Did we miss it? I inhale slowly. Their tactics haven't changed. Emotional bait, but not today. Mother dabs at her eyes preemptively. Do you realize how embarrassing it was? People noticed your empty seat, she says, voice pitched with contrived concern. I left because I was excluded from the family photograph. I state simply, calm but firm. The one mother specifically requested with just the 3 of you. I honored it. Melissa slides a folder toward me again, discreetly. I open it. Childhood photographs, collected and arranged chronologically. Christmas 2000, Claire in the center, me half-cropped from the frame. A high school graduation photo. My diploma held, their gazes fixed on Claire. This is ridiculous. Mother protests. I lay down another photo, letting silence stretch over the table. My father huffs in irritation. We attended, didn't we? Yes, I say softly, but attendance doesn't equal acknowledgement. The waiter approaches. Father orders expensive scotch. Mother requests sparkling water. Claire mimics her. Choice, I order black coffee. Simple, clear. My boundaries silently announced. Claire leans forward, voice rehearsed. I felt attacked when you left, Veronica. Like you were punishing me for being loved. I don't flinch. Love doesn't require punishment, I answer evenly. You've rewritten my absence into something that requires neither explanation nor accountability from me. I left after being excluded. That's the truth. Mother flinches slightly. You've been under pressure, she says finally. People understand burnout. Convenient, yes, but irrelevant. I sip water, letting the silence hang like a fine thread. Taut and unwavering. You have obligations to this family, Father interjects. Your grandmother would be ashamed of your behavior. I laugh. a low, clear sound that surprises even me. Grandmother left me a letter and funds, specifically for me alone. She recognized the pattern early. I placed the letter from yesterday onto the table. Their faces blanched. She saw the invisible daughter and prepared a lifeline. "That's more than you've ever done," Mother gasps. "What letter? What funds?" "The ones you never knew about," I reply. My father slams his hand on the table, the glass rattling under the impact. "You and your business-playing entrepreneur, instead of joining a respectable firm. You think I don't see what this is about. Attention-seeking, just like when you were little, Veronica." Mother leans forward, voice trembling. "People are noticing. Success has changed you." "Yes," I say calmly. "It has. Success has shown me I deserve a seat at tables where I am valued, not tolerated, where I am recognized, not hidden behind the achievements of others, where people see me, not just my last name." Father begins to recover, attempting to regain composure. "Now listen here." "No," I interrupt, rising from my chair. My voice carries through the quiet restaurant. "You've had 32 years to speak. Today, I have had my say." I gather my things with deliberate motion, each movement measured. Melissa follows, silent and steady. "I would like a relationship with all of you," I say, voice softening slightly, "but it will be on new terms. Equal respect. No more exclusion. No more Veronica in the corner while Claire takes center stage." Mother's hand trembles around her water glass. Father's jaw clenches. Claire looks lost, perhaps seeing for the first time the structure of our family and how it's now breaking. "Congratulations again on your anniversary," I say, straightening my shoulders. "I truly wish you happiness." I turn and walk away, leaving them frozen in the seat, each step lighter than the last. Their silence follows me, but for once, it doesn't define me. The elevator doors close on their stunned faces. I exhale, 32 years of waiting to matter, leaving my lungs in a slow, steady rhythm. Reflection in the polished doors shows something unfamiliar. Peace. 6 months later, I stand in my penthouse kitchen, the Boston skyline painted gold by a spring sunset. Time has healed and rebuilt me. The antique mahogany dining table, the same one where my grandmother hosted generations of women, now gleams in my home. The Wedgwood china delicate blue flowers against creamy porcelain lace, neatly before me. This is the table I reclaimed, not as a peace offering, but as an assertion of self-worth. James arrives first, bottle of Barolo in one hand, portfolio in the other. "Latest projections for the mentorship program," he says, kissing my cheek. 28 applicants already. "Women entrepreneurs need more than funding," I explain. "They need someone who sees their potential." Sarah follows with her husband, my executive team, 2 college professors from our foundation board, and my attorney Margot joins soon after. Laughter and conversation fill the space. No hidden agendas, no conditional admiration. Just people who value genuine connection. I slip into my office, grandmother's letter framed beside the window. Her words echo, "We choose which chairs matter." They guided me through my TED Talk last month, Worth Beyond Family Validation, which now has over 300,000 views. My phone buzzes with texts from Claire. Still focused on my absence at Easter dinner, Dad calling it another stunt. Our cautious reconnection occurs in private, occasional coffee, secret messages. Claire is finding her voice, asking questions about starting community college. Small steps toward her own identity. A knock at my office door. James hands me a small bubble mailer. Inside, a faded photograph. Claire and me, ages 6 and 9. Laughing on a tire swing. On the back, her handwriting. "We were happy before they taught us not to be." I tucked the photo into my pocket. a quiet reminder of what existed before manipulation and favoritism took hold. I return to my guests' wine. Conversation, laughter, all genuine, free of performance. I take my place at the head of the table. My place not earned by birth, manipulation, or false admiration, but offered freely by people who value my presence. To Veronica, James says, raising his glass, whose foundation just awarded its first scholarship to a brilliant young woman from Bridgeport. 2 second chances, Sarah adds. I stand, fingers brushing the grandmother's brooch pinned above my heart. To chairs that matter, I say, voicesteady.com, filled with gratitude. Later, as the guests depart, I linger at the empty table. Tomorrow, I'll host again, each seat written for someone who chose me, not obligated by family ties. At the far end, one chair remains empty, not a symbol of exile, but a reminder of what I left behind, and what I found instead. I run my fingers across the polished wood, now mine, now filled with laughter instead of judgment, with attention instead of indifference. The chair that matters most is where you are truly seen. Weeks pass since the Meridian confrontation. The clarity I felt that day has only deepened. I wake each morning not to the hollow expectations of my parents, but to a schedule of my own making. The sunlight falls through my penthouse windows, painting the walls gold. A reminder that the life I'm building is mine, not dictated by the approval of others. The first Monday of spring, I host the inaugural meeting for my mentorship program. At my dining table, the very one I reclaimed from the family estate auction. Each chair carefully placed, each name written on a card, each seat filled with someone who sees potential and is ready to grow. No hierarchy dictated by birth or fortune, no invisible daughters or golden children. Just women who want to change their lives, and me helping them do it. James arrives first, as usual, with his warm smile and a portfolio full of projections. 28 applicants already, he reports, his excitement matching mine. Sarah follows shortly after, her eyes bright with energy and ideas. My executive team files in, each person bringing expertise, encouragement, and an unmistakable sense of belonging. Margot, my attorney and friend, sets up the documents for the scholarship fund in grandmother's name. Together, we create not just a program, but a foundation of trust, mentorship, and empowerment. I take a moment to step back, letting the energy fill the room. Laughter and conversation blend, creating a soundtrack far richer than the polite applause of my parents. Anniversary dinner. I trace the edge of the mahogany table, the same one that once defined exclusion, now the centerpiece of inclusion. Every chair matters here. Every person matters. A knock at my office door interrupts the moment. Melissa steps in, holding a small envelope. "This arrived for you," she says. Inside, a faded photograph. Claire and me, ages 6 and 9, arms linked on a tire swing, smiling without a care in the world. On the back, Claire's handwriting, "We were happy before they taught us not to be." I tuck the photo into my pocket, a quiet emblem of my past, a reminder of innocence untainted by favoritism. This photograph, alongside grandmother's brooch pinned to my blouse, serves as a compass, a reminder of who I was and the values I carry forward. Meanwhile, my phone buzzes. A message from Claire. "Are you free for coffee? I have questions about..." Starting at community college, I pause, a smile tugging at my lips. Small steps. That's all it takes. I type back, "Yes, let's talk." Not as a parent, not as a mediator, not as someone vying for recognitions, as an older sister, a mentor, someone who sees her for the person she is becoming. The world outside continues, but inside this apartment, this table, this space, I feel rooted. I have people around me who celebrate accomplishments, not exploit them, who ask questions out of genuine curiosity, not obligation. I pour a glass of Barolo and raise it to the empty chair at the far end of the table, not as a symbol of exile, but as a reminder of the boundaries I've set and the life I have chosen. Weeks later, the mentorship program launches officially. 28 bright, ambitious women gather at my table, each with a dream and the courage to pursue it. I welcome them personally, my voice calm but full of warmth, letting each person know that they are seen, valued, and capable of more than they might have ever imagined. This is my legacy, not the approval of a family that never fully embraced me, but the empowerment of women who will go on to change their own worlds. Claire begins to reach out more frequently. Shy at first, tentative. We meet over coffee, talk through her plans for school, and slowly I witness her beginning to find a voice beyond parental expectations. No one tells her she's the favorite or the afterthought. She simply discovers that she is capable. Our relationship is careful, delicate, yet promising. In my office, framed letters and photographs from grandmother, mentors, and friends serve as constant reminders of the life I am shaping. Every decision, every meeting, every moment of laughter is proof that I am no longer defined by what was denied to me. I am the protagonist, not a supporting character in someone else's story. Evenings are quiet now, the penthouse alive with light and warmth. The phone buzzes occasionally messages from James, Sarah, and our colleagues, celebrating milestones, sharing progress, and offering support. These are my people. The family I choose, the connections I nurture, the lives I touch, and the chair at the end of the table. Always empty, but no longer lonely. A symbol of liberation. A reminder of what I left behind, yes, but also of the power to shape what lies ahead. At night, I sometimes take the photograph of Claire and me on the tire swing from the desk drawer, tracing the smiles frozen in time. The memories are bittersweet, but I do not linger in sorrow. I acknowledge the past, understand the patterns, and allow myself to feel gratitude for the grandmother who saw me, for the mentors and friends who believe in me, and for the courage that grew from being overlooked. The next family holiday comes, but I do not attend. Instead, I host a gathering for my chosen family. Wine glasses clink, laughter echoes, and no one's worth is measured by appearance or favoritism. The mahogany table is full, each chair occupied by someone who matters, who adds value, who sees me as I see them, a person of worth, capable and whole. Occasionally, Claire visits. We sit side by side at the head of the table, sharing stories of childhood, growth, and discovery. She begins to understand that family is not just a shared name, but a shared recognition of worth. Slowly, the golden child learns that life is richer when love and respect are earned through empathy and understanding, not manipulated through hierarchy. I glance around the room, eyes settling on the empty chair at the far end. It is no longer a void. It is a reminder of lessons learned, boundaries respected, and the freedom to define my own life. The sunlight hits the table, golden and warm, reflecting on the faces of those I love and those who love me back. Peace, finally, is not a distant hope. It is present, tangible, and entirely mine. And so I continue, chair by chair, day by day, building a life defined not by who ignored me, but by who sees me. The legacy of recognition, respect, and self-worth extends beyond one dinner, beyond one family's approval. It lives in every thoughtful gesture, every shared smile, and every seat at the table where I am truly seen. The city stretches beyond the windows, alive and full of possibility. My phone buzzes with congratulations, ideas, and encouragement. My hand brushes the grandmother's brooch, pinned above my heart, and in that quiet, golden moment, I know I am finally home. Not in a house, not in a name, but in the certainty of my own worth, surrounded by people who see me, respect me, and celebrate me. The table is full. The chairs all matter, and for the first time in my life, so do I.